The Connors wraps with a nostalgic montage of footage from the Roseanne show, but it noticeably doesn't feature Roseanne, and that's intentional. Considering the tumultuous way that it started, ABC found a gem in the Connors, which stemmed from the cancellation of the original revival. Because of the overwhelming support of viewers, the network had to find a way to continue the shows after Roseanne Barr was fired from the project. It wasn't easy, but ABC couldn't have hoped for the show's performance, as the Connors has been embraced by old and new fans. Coming into its truncated The Connors Season 7, a lot of the ongoing plots in the show were already wrapped up in the previous year. Louise retired from touring, Harris inherited the lunchbox, Becky found love, and Dan finally paid for the house's mortgage. Jackie and Beverly even patched things up. So, the Roseanne franchise's final season introduces a new arc that wraps up in its last episode, and it, surprisingly, revisits Roseanne's death, which kick-started the events of the spin-off sequel. Despite that, however, there's no physical appearance for the character in the Connors parting flashback sequence. The Connors Season 7, Episode 6 ends with a retrospective video but doesn't feature any footage of Roseanne. Roseanne is noticeably left out. The Connors cast in the last scene of the series finale. The Connors Season 7 used Roseanne's death for a final emotional arc for Dan and the rest of the family. Jackie convinces the clan to join a class action lawsuit against the pharmaceutical company that made the pills. However, the process isn't easy, since it requires them to revisit the tragedy. Ultimately, they don't get much, but just enough for a small dinner at home. As everyone files out to leave, however, Dan is left sitting on the couch, and that's when the montage plays of various scenes from their days in the Roseanne series. Dan, Becky, Darlene, and Jackie are focused on, but despite being a big part of the flagship, Roseanne is nowhere to be seen. Even DJ has a brief cameo despite Michael Fishman not coming back to the show for the Connors Season 7. Admittedly, it's an odd choice, considering that it would have been the perfect opportunity to physically feature the Connors family matriarch, but that doesn't happen. Why the Connors couldn't use any footage of Roseanne? It's all because of Barr's stipulation. Not featuring Roseanne in any of the flashback scenes when there are plenty of options to choose from is actually intentional, but not in the way that many would assume. In a post-mortem interview with Deadline after the Connors finale, executive producers Dave Kaplan and Bruce Helford explained that they weren't able to include any footage of Barr because of legalities. It's no secret that the actor's exit from the sitcom was rocky, to say the least. When she was booted out, one of her stipulations was that the Connors couldn't use her likeness. Read the producer's quote below. This is also the reason why there isn't any clear photo of Roseanne in the Connors' iconic Lanford home. The living room has some framed photos, but nothing clear with the matriarch. Despite what happened behind the scenes, at least the Connors is able to pay their respects to the actor and her character for her contributions to the sitcom through its last story.